Looking for a good spot to pull over.
You think this is our car? Yep. Okay, I guess the first test is whether it runs me over. Start ride. See, so that's the view I'm getting from the back seat. That wheel moving with no hands. Look, Mum, no hands. This is freaky.
This robot taxi, already roaming the streets of San Francisco, gives us a very good idea of where we are.
Pretty cool, if you can get past the weird empty driver's seat.
And where we might be going. Many AI algorithms already behave, well, kind of human.
In California, obviously, you can turn right on red, and it's trying to turn right. It's going to do it. Go on, mate, go on. Nice.
The flesh and blood driver that used to sit here is already obsolete.
This is our future. Humans sitting in the back seat doing nothing.
Some humans are scared, some trying hard to stop it. For now, humans are still in control of AI and this cab. There's a human supervisor in a call center.
Can you tell that he's not wearing his seatbelt properly?
Yes, correct.
But for how long? That's where much of AI is at the moment. Imperfect and speeding ahead without a seatbelt. Like it or not, this is our future.
Higher being is driving the car.
For hundreds of thousands of years, humans have been the most intelligent beings on this earth. Not for much longer. We're creating tech that will take us well beyond self-driving cars, tech that will outsmart us all. Will AI save us, or will AI kill us?
Recognised worldwide as one of the leading experts for artificial intelligence. Please welcome to the stage Joshua Benjo.
Today, this quiet Canadian is headlining an AI summit in Montreal. Without him, this revolution would not be where it is. So, today, he wears a slightly nervous smile.
Governments need to protect all of us with technology which could be amazingly useful and also risky. They have their office in the university.
Joshua Bengio is a deep learning pioneer. That's basically teaching computers to behave like human brains.
The stuff that you find in ChatGPT, many of its major ingredients came from Mila.
Mila, the Montreal Institute for Learning Algorithms, founded by Bengio in the 90s in a building that was once a clothing factory. Now they produce ideas, algorithms already changing humanity.
There are going to be machines that are way smarter than you.
If we choose so and we don't destroy civilization before that, we could get there, yes.
What is the biggest fear? It's humans using this technology or humans losing control of this technology?
They're both valid fears. For the foreseeable future is going to be humans doing bad things with powerful technology like they have done in the past, but now very more powerful technology. It's also conceivable that at some point we could lose control, and that's potentially even worse.
If you're scared, why don't you just shut up shop and go and become a farmer? Your research could be contributing to the end of all of us.
I'm asking that question myself every morning. A rich enough state space, essentially.
Yes.
Right? And, I wonder if there's a way to maybe change the perspective. Why I'm continuing right now is in part because I think that it is possible to build AI systems that would be totally safe and incredibly useful.
But if AI does go rogue, Terminator style, we lose control, or more likely we just program it badly, there could be unintended but indelible consequences.
let's make sure that we fix climate change. Well, if that's the objective that the machine has, fix climate change, okay, well, I guess who's causing the climate change? Humans. Okay, easiest way, end the human race, right?
Stuart Russell is another godfather of artificial intelligence. He literally wrote the textbook on AI.
My first AI program I wrote in high school, which was about 48 years ago.
48 years later, most AI systems can do single things better than us. Recognize a face, play chess.
What we're aiming towards in AI is general purpose AI, meaning AI systems that can do anything that human beings can do.
One system that can learn, even teach itself to do anything, everything, better than us.
AI, I would say, probably, definitely, is going to just completely upend our entire sort of economic structure and how we've seen things for centuries, if not millennia.
Yep.
At Berkeley, Russell leads a small army of researchers
Openness to collaborate on safety.
at the Center for Human-Compatible Artificial Intelligence.
Given that it's going to be more powerful than human beings, how do you ensure that humans have power over it forever?
And
Right? That's the question that we're working on.
Russell and many other tech leaders called in March for a global pause on deploying advanced AI systems while we figure out the guardrails. There has been no such pause.
problem is, right now, it's people like you who are soft-spoken intellectuals making this point and signing these letters.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a fair fight, but I would say the tenor of discussion has changed radically. People are listening. Even Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, which produces ChatGPT and all these systems, has called for regulation.
Let's do the right thing for humanity.
My worst fears are that we, the field, the technology, the industry, cause significant harm to the world. We want to work with the government to prevent that from happening.
In the summer, Altman and other big AI players agreed to voluntary regulations, like running security tests before releasing AI systems. President Biden, among other things, just made such tests mandatory.
Let me be clear. This executive order represents bold action, but we still need Congress to act.
You're optimistic.
I'm optimistic.
Just across the bay from Berkeley, in downtown San Francisco, I met 26-year-old Alex Wang, one of the tech leaders fueling the AI arms race.
I started the company when I was 19.
That takes some balls.
What went through my head is the technology is going to move so fast that I'm going to really regret it if I don't get involved.
He is co-founder and CEO of Scale AI. His big idea: to provide AI developers with the one thing they all need: massive amounts of data organized. In 2022, Forbes dubbed him the youngest self-made billionaire in the world. He's now working with the Department of Defense. Around Washington, he's known as an AI whisperer.
We want to be sure to not overregulate the technology, because if we accidentally overregulate, we could damage or hurt decades and decades of economic progress and decades of innovation.
I don't know you. You seem like a nice person, but it's people like you who are young, who are wealthy, who are set to make a lot more money from this tech. Why should we believe that you really are in this for all of us at this crucial moment for our species?
Well, ultimately, I think this is one of the reasons why working with the U.S. government is actually so critical, because, our government has a number of mechanisms and checks and balances and procedures, and it was designed to ensure that the government ultimately reflects the will and the desires of the people. One of the things that I'm most concerned about are bad actors utilizing artificial intelligence to, ultimately exert their will globally. Authoritarianism versus democracy. We have a number of countries, China and Russia, investing aggressively into using artificial intelligence to further their aims.
5 or 10 years from now, how different is our world going to look because of AI in terms of our everyday lives and in terms of the geopolitical structure of our planet?
I think the quote goes, we always overestimate what will happen in 1 year, but underestimate what will happen in 10 years. When it gets really embedded into every way, every function of humanity, everything that happens, I think it'll be quite shocking and amazing what the world will look like.
You might be asking, so what will my world look like? Well, stay tuned and we'll show you.
That's something that wasn't possible before.
Do you ever wonder that you're in danger of sort of losing touch with what's real and what's not?
Well, I did that a couple of months ago.
We are quickly entering this time where anything you see, read, or hear online can be fake. And what does that mean? Nothing is real anymore, right? This interview isn't real. I'm not real. You're not real.
Hani Farid really is a Berkeley professor. His main focus, misinformation.
We can deny reality. A politician getting caught saying something inappropriate on hot mic, it's fake. You don't have to cop to it.
Where does that leave us as
a society, as a democracy? Like if we can't...
As a human being?
Yeah, I don't know. How do you have a democracy? If we can't trust the basic facts of what's happening in the world.
Today is today. And yesterday was today, yesterday.
You revert back to tribalism. This is my people, I trust them. I listen to what do my tribe say, right? And that is dangerous.
We're on the precipice of the election.
Oh, me. You're already seeing deepfakes entering into the election.
I've realized I need to drop out of this race immediately.
Officials closed the city of San Francisco this morning, citing...
There are people, by the way, who will say, well, we don't really think that can change an election. And then I will remind people that in the last 2 elections, national elections, the difference between one candidate and the other can be measured in tens of thousands of votes. I know exactly what town to go into, in what state, and what persona to go after, and I can carpet bomb them with misinformation all day long. I move 80,000 votes. That's the ballgame, right?
So what do we do? I mean, you're the man I'm pinning my hopes on to save us.
There are some things we can do, but they're hard. Okay. We build what are called behavioral models. And then, when a video is released of President Biden, we track the head, track the upper body, track the voice, and then we just compare it. We ask, is this behaviorally the same as what we have seen?
Takes time, and the damage might already have been done.
A fake image of a Pentagon bombing was uploaded to Twitter on a verified account that looked like Bloomberg News, and in 2 minutes, the stock market dropped $500 billion from a single fake image. So we're in the detection business, understand, right? We're in the business of trying to defend against this harmful content. But to do that, you have to understand what is possible.
This looks much better, actually. Doesn't it? Yeah, it looks much better than yesterday. Yeah. Well,
Enter Farid's protege, Mati Bohacek. 18 years old, fresh from his native Czech Republic. His fascination with AI brought him here to California. He convinced Professor Farid to take him on.
Oh, yeah. That's so sweet.
He's a tech guy. He's supposed to look kind of rumpled.
Mati, with his mentor's guidance, made that Anderson Cooper deepfake you watched a few minutes ago.
We used one of the online tools that's out there. We basically trained a model to synthesize voice in particular Anderson Cooper style, and then we just gave it a text, and in a couple of seconds, we had the perfect audio.
We've already seen some service-based manufacturing.
You just graduated high school.
Yeah, that's right. 3 weeks ago.
You're too young, but you might remember, you know, when the news anchor was the voice of God and you believed in everything that anchor said, and now any high school kid, no offense, can put words into that anchor's mouth.
Let alone a president or a CEO or you or me. I think in China, they're using completely I just sent you the article.
Yeah.
Completely virtual newscasters now.
I'm an English artificial intelligence anchor.
If an 18-year-old can do this, imagine what a big-time Hollywood player could do with AI.
What you're looking at here, I think, is the studio of the future. It's how we make movies, how we go about doing it is changing.
What's it going to mean to me sitting on my lazy boy?
Yeah, you'll get better movies.
Scott Mann directed Fall.
This is sick.
A big hit with the teenage crowd. Pre-release, to avoid an R rating, he had to get rid of the cursing.
Stealing my car! What? No, you mother...
Reshooting the movie without the swearing would have cost lots of time and money. They didn't have to. Thanks to AI, this
Now we're stuck on this stupid tower in the middle of nowhere.
became this.
Now we're stuck on this stupid freaking tower in the middle of freaking nowhere.
That tech, developed by Flawless AI, founded by Mann and a tech biz insider Nick Lines in 2018.
We can take new dialogue spoken by this actress, by Ginny, and because the system understands how she speaks, we're able to create new mouth articulations for that line.
Remember, Hollywood went on strike, in part over fears AI algorithms would steal actors' images and performances. Mann is not doing that.
Once this is created,
the actors are involved. They voice the new lines. They just don't all have to go out and reshoot to get rid of a cuss word or fix a flaw.
I mean, you were not a tech guy, you were not a business guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, maybe I just had a stroke on my way over here.
I'd done a film called Heist, and then I saw a foreign dub of that movie.
Vielleicht habe ich auf dem Weg hierher einen Hörsturz gehabt. Ich glaube nämlich gehört.
And that's when I realized, films are being ruined every time they are dubbed. And it kind of set me off on a bit of an adventure to try and figure a way to fix it. So over here, the guys are working on a movie called UFO Sweden. This is a movie that was shot, an incredible movie that's in Swedish.
Thanks to this new tech, Mann will release the original UFO Sweden,
Från hamna på ungdomsanstalt så du börjar hänga med de där dårarna igen.
but in English.
You're one black mark away from youth custody. And you want to hang out with those idiots again?
I want to get on to talking about more what you do in a second, but while we're on this bigger picture, there's one other thing I want to ask you.
Si quisieras hablar un español perfecto en este momento, ¿tú la verdad crees que serías capaz de hacerlo?
Yes.
Yeah. But we are at the stage, or we will soon be at the stage, where actually the entire creative process is taken over by AI.
I would say no. The really good movies typically tap into some kind of human exploration. It's born from feeling and you're delivering feeling, and the one thing AI can't do is feel. It's not human at the end of the day.
So it can be trained to feel like us, no?
No, it can be trained to emulate us. You know, the base human instinct, you could say, is survival. I think unless an AI has feelings that relate into that notion, I don't think that it's ever going to be like us.
It clearly has tapped into a primal fear in us as humans. It's basically tapped into our survival instinct.
Yeah, rightly so. There's enormous good that can come out of this, done right.
Next.
I always said to my family that I would walk again.
We came to Lausanne, Switzerland, on the very bonny banks of Lake Geneva to dive into some AI optimism, to meet two medical pioneers, but
you should go and save someone's life.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going.
She was sidetracked by emergency brain surgery. We'll get back to them both in a minute. We were also sidetracked in Lausanne, also by something potentially life-saving. Far from the old town, in a building that looks like a school gymnasium, we found this.
It's a tokamak.
A takamak.
Tokamak.
Tokamak, okay.
Yeah.
Been around since the Soviets had an idea in the 1950s, but no human on Earth has managed to make a tokamak really work. But these physicists are partnered with Google DeepMind, one of the most advanced AI labs in the world, and now think that they can finally crack it.
The idea is to reproduce the sun on Earth to produce energy.
With AI, there is a chance to do it within 10-20 years.
To heat plasma to 150 million degrees Celsius, to initiate nuclear fusion, to create near endless, clean, cheap, and safe power. There's the plasma. Magnets must stop it touching the sides of the container. The magnets need constant tweaking.
Humans cannot do it in real time. Everything is happening so fast.
But the AI can?
The AI definitely can.
AI might now be able to save our world from a fossil-fueled fate.
What are the areas that you see right now of the most benefit?
I would say health and environment. It could be that in 20 years we've cured pretty much all diseases. I'm not saying it's happening, it's going to happen, but there's that kind of potential.
So, back to those suave medical pioneers and their seemingly impossible dream.
To have someone coming to this hospital, paralyzed, and walking out of this hospital normal.
So, explain to me who does what here? You're the surgeon.
I'm the surgeon.
And I'm the neuroscientist.
And Gert-Jan Oxum is a laconic, determined Dutchman, paralyzed in a bicycle accident in China more than a decade ago.
In me, my thoughts transfer down my spine, and that makes me walk. But with you, that connection was broken.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yes.
Do you remember what happened?
No, nothing, no.
You were on your bicycle, and then the next thing...
They found me on the streets. I heard the police pick me up, brought me in a hospital. And when I woke up, I didn't feel my legs anymore. So the doctor told me I could touch my face with my left or right hand, and he said be happy with this. It won't get better.
And how do you deal with that as a person?
I always said to my family that I would walk again. I told them 1 year, but it apparently needed 10 years. But
10 years for AI to catch up with the dream. Tech that began many years ago as a sci-fi sketch drawn on a napkin in a New York steakhouse.
When I draw a brain and a spinal cord, and there was a digital bridge to restore walking after paralysis.
But at this time it was a dream.
Were you imagining this reading the thoughts?
Yes, I thought it was crazy.
Now, reality. A paralyzed man is up and about.
So we are doing two surgeries. The classical one is on the spinal cord, so where we put electrodes above the spinal cord, the region of the spinal cord that is controlling leg movements. And this other surgery that is quite novel is the one above the brain. So in that case, we put electrodes above the motor cortex. Motor cortex is the part of the brain that is controlling leg movements. This implant is going to work wirelessly and activate the spinal cord stimulation.
AI for us has become a friend for the past 10 years. This is a research partner that is now part of the laboratory activities, and without which we could not operate.
You could not operate?
When you are facing sometimes huge amount of data, which us human beings are not able to understand what's happening, machine learning can tell us.
The AI can detect how much the person wants to make a movement, not just the movement that it...
That is correct. Gersian just has to think about it. So we turn his thought into action.
Yeah, that's something that wasn't possible before.
So now we turn on the system, and you can see that Gersian can actually step, and we're going to turn it off. So now it's off, and you see that he's frozen. No, it's very difficult for him. He's trying.
Yeah.
Up, back on, and up, he can perform some step again.
But that's what, I'm kind of surprised that you can have a conversation with me and this is still picking up when you want to move your legs.
Yes, it can really discriminate brain signals.
Yeah.
When was the moment that you realized that it worked?
It was sad for me because this one day I was not present.
He was not present because he did not realize that it would be so fast.
What she doesn't tell you is that everybody was crying in the room.
Hert-Jan doesn't walk the way he did before his accident, not yet, maybe never. But with every AI-aided step, he's getting stronger. His body is actually repairing itself.
When using this system for a long period of time through training, nerve fibers start growing again. So we repair the nervous system with this technology.
In the spine?
Correct. That was like the dream. This is like regenerative medicine. Currently, it's very frustrating for us. You know, we receive so many emails, requests to be implanted, and it's not yet available commercially. So people have to wait.
Cue this guy.
We've hired people throughout the United States to help conduct our clinical trials.
Dave Marver, a veteran American medical device executive, moved to Switzerland for this.
We're linking the spinal cord stimulation with thought.
Crazy town.
He's now the CEO of Onward, which makes and will eventually market, if approved, the device that's helping Hert-Jan walk.
Hert-Jan is the first human in all of history to have an implanted brain-computer interface that spoke to an implanted spinal cord stimulator to restore the ability to walk. First person in history. Where does it go next? We're going to also implant, again, the first human in history to see if a brain-computer interface coupled with our spinal cord stimulator can restore hand and arm function.
Since we spoke, they've done it. Onward says these devices are currently in clinical feasibility trials, but still years away from coming to market.
You know, your device, for example, a huge benefit to humankind. Overall, I mean, there are fears that this tech will be detrimental to humankind. Is that something you...
On balance, Nick, I'm just giving you my gut reaction. Yeah. I'm actually more concerned than hopeful because I feel like it's galloping forward without a lot of oversight or even understanding of what it can and will do. You know, we're wearing the white hats here and we're working on harnessing the power of AI to do good, but I'm concerned about the rest of the world.
Are we still going to have the capability to think freely in the age of AI?
The dark side of AI in our brains. Next.
How do you justify, you know, a machine potentially making a decision to take a human life?
I think necessity.
So, can you explain what the process is that's happening right now?
Yes.
Advances in AI have been so vast just over the past year with generative AI that we really are much closer to actual mind reading.
We just watched a paralyzed man walking thanks to an AI-powered implant, essentially reading his mind.
There are literally millions of people who are suffering from disabilities as a result of motor cortex impairment. We have an ethical mandate to continue to support that research.
But there is, of course, a potentially dark side to tech that can decode our thoughts.
There are reports of governments worldwide using it to interrogate criminal defendants based on how their brains react to information that was flashed before them.
Nita Farahani, a professor and legal ethicist, is fighting to save whatever brain privacy we have left.
AI is being used at scale to try to understand what you're thinking and you're feeling. But there is a tiny part of you that you still hold back, that AI still doesn't have access to. So here's how you might think about it, right? There's never been any person that has walked past you that you've thought, pretty attractive, that your wife didn't know about. Right? Presume for a moment that somebody walked by, you thought like, wow, that person's attractive. And she got a little real-time alert on her phone that said, like, the brainwave data shows that he just thought that person was attractive. Right? I mean, that's the difference between the world we're in right now and a world of complete brain transparency. There is still the part of you that you're able to keep inside. There's still the inner monologue. There's still the dreams that you have when you're sleeping at night that somebody else doesn't have access to.
But soon, Farahani says, it's possible that won't be the case. Corporations, governments, and others could be able to gain access inside our brains using AI. And
Militaries worldwide are all in when it comes to what's increasingly being referred to as cognitive warfare. So the ability to not just do things like create super soldiers, but also to precisely be able to take out or disorient or disable people.
Is AI going to keep us, humankind, safer or put us in more danger? Militarily?
Depends on who develops it.
Lieutenant Colonel Martijn Hadeke is a career soldier, a combat veteran. He knows what armies need, and he's now figuring out how AI can help.
And this is a strange question, but why are you talking to us? Why are you talking to anybody about this?
Yeah, I think there's a need for explanation and a benefit if we are a bit more transparent.
He leads the Dutch military's Robotics and Autonomous Systems Unit.
With the primary aim of keeping your flesh and blood human soldiers safer?
At first, yes. Second is to increase our combat power. For example, with reconnaissance robots, be the first into the minefield. If the robot explodes, I lose one robot.
This is a new arms race, and this time, China is the main rival.
They believe that the United States and other countries won't invest sufficiently into this disruptive new technology. And so it's an opportunity for them to leapfrog ahead of the United States.
Right.
Alex Wang, the AI data guru, is now working with the US military.
How will that space change over the next 5-10 years because of AI?
So in the sea, on land, in air, it'll be some sort of autonomous robotic system versus another robotic autonomous system, and that will be the sort of nature by which these wars are fought.
Is this a pivotal moment in human fighting?
Absolutely. It's changing every weapon and every way of warfighting.
Jessica Dorsey studies algorithmic warfare.
The integration of AI on the battlefield will make it easier for countries to go to war. There needs to be meaningful transparency and accountability for actions on a battlefield, and only humans can account for killing other humans.
The Terminator scenario, autonomous robots killing people, is that even possible?
Drone swarms, 50, 100, 1,000 drones working in concert to emulate swarms in nature. The technology is there to fully recognize and select targets on a battlefield.
And kill those targets without a human involved?
Yes.
We are investigating the concept of whether and under which conditions decision authority can be delegated to a machine.
For example, if communication between a human soldier and a machine is compromised, the machine goes fully autonomous.
Then an unmanned armed system can make the decision to fire.
So you've got an unmanned autonomous vehicle on a mission, it comes under attack from the enemy, and in order to save an unmanned robot, human life of the enemy will be taken.
Yeah. No, not in order to save the life of the robot, in order to achieve the mission objective.
You heard that right. AI potentially making the call to kill a human.
How do you justify, a machine potentially making a decision to take a human life?
Yeah, I think necessity. If it was not necessary, we would not develop this capability. And to be clear, we're still in the concept development phase.
The UN Secretary General wants a formal treaty to ban lethal autonomous weapons, but the US and other big powers have yet to agree.
Do you think this is going to destroy us?
it doesn't want to.
This little city, Amsterdam, remains a monument to a time when tulips were the hot new thing. It's always been filled with forward thinkers, pushing the boundaries of progress. So it's no surprise that today the Dutch are thinking deeply about the next revolution and what it means to be human in the age of AI.
Hi. I've been looking into AI for quite some time now and speaking to a lot of people. And you're still weirding me out, you know, I mean...
Well, I see that as a compliment.
It is, it is, it is.
Amsterdam is also home to Constant Brinkman.
This work here, it's by Lily Chen, it's our only Asian artist.
None of us can now escape AI, it's everywhere, so Brinkman is leaning in. His dead-end gallery is the first AI-only art gallery in the world.
This is Maximilian Hoekstra. And we thought, let's
Who also doesn't actually physically exist.
No, doesn't physically
exist. Let's just establish that. Maximilian, yeah. Okay.
He's from the Netherlands, and his mother is from the US. We have created 11 artists, and we create those as follows. To a large language model, we ask, please come up with the name of an artist. And then there comes a name of an artist like Irisa Nova.
Hi, I am Irisa Nova.
How old are you? I'm 29 years old. Can you tell me something about your family, about your love life? This whole character comes alive.
Artificial artists whose work now sells for thousands of euros. Irisa Nova is apparently very popular and agreed that the gallery can keep all the cash.
I mean, you talk about her as if she's kind of real.
Yes, she is.
Does she seem real to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Artificial intelligence.
Do you ever wonder that you're in danger of sort of losing touch with what's real and what's not?
Well, I did that a couple of months ago. We were so in the stories, and so we suddenly thought we really had new friends. I stopped talking with them for, I think, 2 weeks, because it was all too much in my head. Because at some point, I will lose my mind. And then I thought, I need to reset myself. So now I see them as AI entities and as also as friends.
We humans can become totally comfortable with AI all over and inside our lives.
This is a new tool, and the tool will never go away. The genie is out of the bottle, so this will not go away.
Do you think this is going to destroy us?
AI is very much capable of doing really weird shit. So it can do crazy things, but it doesn't want to. So if we keep it a little bit safe and we control it a little bit, we will benefit from that.
Can we keep it a little bit safe? The US Senate held a series of closed-door hearings. Elon Musk attended the first.
I think this meeting may go down in history as being very important for the future of civilization.
Do you think some legislation is going to come out of this?
Probably. I'm not sure what the time frame of that is, but...
They are going to do what they're supposed to do, which is maximize shareholder profit. They're obligated by law to do this. Let's stop pretending that these are a bunch of cool kids, you know, trying to save the world. They're not. They're trying to make a lot of money, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. Now the government's job is to regulate the industry.
We really, really need to have a very agile process that's going to adapt that regulation without having to wait another 3 years for new legislation. That's not going to work.
What you're saying here is that our current systems, our current society is not yet ready to deal with what is about to hit us.
Unfortunately.
Let us press onward in quest of man's essential desire for peace.
Remember, we did all come together to regulate nuclear weapons, although only after they'd killed hundreds of thousands of people.
And I think most people are worried about the existential risk to humanity. I think in the near term, they need to be far more worried about, do we have mental privacy?
There's certainly the narrative that we'll be subjugated to the AI systems, but I don't believe that at all. I think that what we'll see in 10 years is what any one man or what any team of people can accomplish will seem utterly staggering.
Beyond the whole life or death question I'm now mulling, there's another biggie. If AI doesn't kill us all,
my concern is sort of what it does to us as human beings, and not to be too Californian, but, you know, our sense of self, you know, and our position in the grand scheme. That's changing.
It is. It will change. And what it means to be human when we're not the apex of intelligence anymore in some future.
if we reach artificial general intelligence, or AGI as it's known, when AI can do everything, anything, better than us.
Will we reach AGI?
I see no reason to believe that we won't. I've not seen a single credible argument that suggests that there's any barrier to getting there, or that there's some reason why it's impossible.
After working for months on this story, there's a scene from WALL-E that haunts me. In a fully automated world, humans are just useless, bloated, soda-swilling lumps. A dystopia that has also haunted Professor Russell.
That's one future, and I tried to run a series of workshops, actually, where I got economists and AI people and science fiction writers and futurists together and said, let's come up with a picture that isn't the WALL-E picture where humans are basically couch potatoes, but we failed.
There is one thing I now know for certain. If anyone tells you they know exactly what our society, our world will look like in another 10, 20, 100 years, where we will go from here, they don't. No one does. We just don't know where AI will take us.